Oh yeah, I'll just turn this one off, and I will turn this one on. Hello, Astro. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? What's poppin'? Been a while. Shoot, almost dropped my coffee. It's not going to be a super long stream right now. I'll probably stream for about 3-ish hours, rough give or take. Because I need to go. I'm watching a movie today. I'm going to the theater. So whoa. And I am watching the Chainsaw movie. I would go out and watch the Chainsaw movie, so that's exciting. Let's see. Do my How about you? How have you been? How's it going? Are you still on your break? Your 2-week break or whatever? I see. Do anything fun? Or no, not really. Just chilling. So I haven't made my homework yet, so I'm a little bit stressed, lol. Yeah, don't you go back to school on like Monday? Yeah, you should. I would assume you would have done your homework, before, or I mean, early on the break, so you don't have to worry about it later on, you know? Yes. see. Yeah, right. So you're a procrastinator. I see. You don't know where to start. Start small. Start at the easiest place, The hardest part about doing anything is just starting. So literally just whatever is the easiest thing to do that first. Then you could build momentum slowly but surely. What? This band is coming to where I live in November? I mean, that's pretty cool. Whoa. Okay, I'll leave this. Okay. I'm gonna do some gesture drawing. Oh, where's the thing? Oops, not it. Do this. Where's my timer? Damn, I haven't done this in a while. I'll keep on yapping though. But yeah, I mean, with anything, just starting is the biggest thing. So yeah, just planning is important, but actually doing is pretty important too. So literally, yeah. You know what? You should do it right now. Since I'm just gonna be gesture drawing, it's gonna be fairly dry. I think there's a perfect opportunity for you to do some homework. Start with the easiest assignment first. The easiest thing, the thing that you know that will take the least amount of work, and go from there. I'm not ready to do analog V. Just read. Just read the poems. How about that? Start simple. Read the poems and think about each poem. Start really simple. Just read it. Again, break it down into like simplest forms, simplest tasks, and then go from there. It's really overwhelming just to head into things. Always break it down. For instance, like if you're trying to clean your whole house, or like let's say your whole room, and there's so much shiz, and you get overwhelmed, and that's why you don't want to do it. Start really simple. Break it down. Okay, let's first let's dust my room, or hey, let's vacuum my room. Start something simple. Or if that's too much work, hell, just say like, okay, let me declutter, let me organize, you know? So how about you just read it and understand what it's trying to say? Start with one poem. Start with one. And let me tell you, you know how important that the ability to do that is? What is the simplest, fastest thing I could do first? It's extremely imperative in high stress situations, like critical, urgent situations. What is the easiest thing to do first? What is the easiest and simplest thing to do first, and go from there? And if you think about like people who perform extremely well in high stress situations, or they have to make fast decisions, it's literally they go down the list. What is the simplest, easiest thing to do first? Okay, let's do that first. Okay, then on to the next task. They break down whatever is the simplest thing to do and go from there. Because if they try to overanalyze everything all at once, it's very stress inducing, and sometimes they get into like decision fatigue. It's like the same thing when you go to a grocery store and you see like a million things, right? And you're trying to think what thing to get, compared to if there's only like two items, two things. So much easier than having to choose between two things versus like 10 things. All right, well, welcome, welcome. Stream is not going to be too long today. Because I am going to watch the Chainsaw movie today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. It came out yesterday? Today, yesterday? It'll be out until the 24th, I think. Friday or Saturday, I think. It's the last showing in America. And yeah, I don't watch it in theaters. I want to watch it in theaters. I mean, you can look it up now. It's no biggie, right? Oh, wait. Where you are, there's a lot of weeds, right? Damn. I mean, I was able to get some good seats, and I bought them like this morning. Now, granted, I am going to see the highest quality, and it costs the most amount of money. I'm paying like what, like, for everything, it was like $22 to see the film. $22 for a movie ticket, man. It's pretty expensive. But again, I don't really go watch movies super often. And you know what? That's probably cheaper to go to a movie theater than to go to a bar. So like, you know what? I guess I'm winning in that aspect. I mean, I found for prison that had the same thing, right? Right then, then make text 10. Oh, maybe you could go to a later showing. I mean, the latest showing was 10:30 p.m. for me. I don't know how that is for you, though. Well, next time, ask M4 to mute me for an hour, please. What do you mean mute you? What? Welcome to the stream, FM9134. Welcome, welcome. I don't know. Just stop me from yapping. Just turn off the stream. Just you know, you can just leave, you know, or you could like mute it. It's not that difficult, you know. It's too hard, bro. What do you mean it's too difficult? Okay, what, you want me to end stream then? I could do that. I could do that real quick. It's not too big. I should be working now too at night, but I'm here. What? Working? What do you mean working? What, on like homework? Great. For the last 2 hours, I've been reading reviews for all sorts of items like what? That's interesting. Supposed to do. Or extend it outward. I'll keep it like that. I have an order to edit videos and I need to write subtitles, but this is so boring. ASF. Oh, so you're a video editor? Hey, Philip. It's been a while. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're vibing. The music. How's it going? And I'm just doing my usual. Man, I hate this pose. Very unclear. Oh yeah. Also, letting y'all know, chat. I occasionally, or I guess now, not always, but I just started recently doing studies on Discord, aka I would stream myself doing some studies here and there. Um, yeah. It's not gonna be announced. I'm not gonna ping anyone and be like, oh yeah, you should come to. No, no, no. It's just if you're there, you could join, you could chill, you could vibe. There's gonna be no background music. There's gonna be a good amount of moments where I'm just gonna be quiet, just silent. For real. I mean, yeah. Last time was what, 3 days ago? 3 days ago. Fiji was there, M4 was there, Nati was there for a little bit. But yeah, I was in Discord VC showing my screen for about 10-ish hours, I think. 9, 10-ish hours. Hi, Fizzy. Yeah, yeah. If it Vin was hiding. I wasn't hiding per se. I didn't respond to your message though. I mean, I didn't. I laughed about it because I saw it and I was chuckling. He doesn't like us anymore. No, it's just because there's a when I'm doing studies, I don't like streaming. If I'm doing like proper studies, yeah, when I'm doing proper studies, um, because I'm mostly silent. I mean, I think what within the 9 hours, or 9, 10 hours, the only amount of time that I was like actually talking and interacting with people was maybe like 3-ish hours. But yeah, majority of the time I'm just like literally just doing studies. Or it'll just be me explaining what I'm doing. I mean, granted though, it was really fun though. You don't understand how fun it was. Or like when we did interact. If you look at the VC chat, you could get a sense. You could get a sense of what was happening. A little bit. But you don't have like full context. And I didn't really type like at all. I was VC full time. You're on my side of hose. Wow. But yeah, so if you want to be a part of it, just occasionally check the Discord server, see if anyone's in VC. You might see me there. Don't join his server. They charge you taxes. I wish. I wish they charged taxes. Man, should I start charging people? Becomes like a what is it, like a Patreon esque server. If you pay like my monthly Patreon, you get exclusive content. Oh, I think it's free to be in the blueprint. Yeah, free. I made it no way. Damn. Welcome. Welcome, Diva. You changed your name, I see. Welcome, welcome. It's been a little while. How's your project going? I know you were talking about that last time. Or like suffering, I should say. A more accurate term. Suffering. I did. Oh, what the hell? It did change. What the hell? I'm still on the grind making backgrounds. Ah, I see. I see. Oh yeah, I was telling chat to check the Discord server. I know I'm like kind of dead or it's not super active, but I'd recommend you to, because now I've started going on VC there to just do some studies. And last time I did it was like a few days ago. Fiji and M4 were there. It was a lot of fun. I mean, the times when I did talk, it was really fun. It was chaos in there. Yeah, 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 yeah. It was a good time. Oh, Dark came on for, or Intermediate came on for like 2 seconds, then left. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. No worries, no worries. Okay, just letting you know. What's the most interesting way you met someone? This effing chat. Literally this chat. Everyone in chat. Okay, next question. Because the thing is, people come at like literally the worst time. But then like or like yeah, I'm talking about something like really dubious, right? And then they're like, "Oh yes, this is my place." They're talking about weird shiz off the rip. I found my people. And then it gets effed. It gets absolutely effed. Okay, so after I do gesture drawings, there are a few things I could do. So technically, I have like one, which is a homework assignment that I give myself. The other one is practicing something else. Now, the other thing, I don't know if I want to do with y'all. I don't want to do it live. I did it in the Discord server, or I did it in VC. I think the thing that I did fit better for VC than live stream. So I'll just do my boring clothing practice. What do you mean busted down Texas style? Texan style. What did you send me, Fizzy? When you eat your finger. What the fudge is this? Yeah, man, I want to eat your finger, bro. The weirdest line to say to someone. Actually, probably no. Probably girlfriend X's was weirder. Is that the show? Is that the anime's name? Is it Kanojo X or Scissors or whatever? It's the one where they share saliva. That's how they connect. I don't know what shit anybody talking about, right? I'm trying to think. Probably after I come back from watching Chainsaw Man. I'm wondering if I should stream or not. Because low key, I'm gonna just go on Discord and just study. Do some studies. Continue my studies. I know, we'll see. I mean, in reality, um, it's pretty the samey. The only thing is just because I'm doing studies, and sometimes when I am doing some studies, um, there's a lot of moments where it's just straight up just silent, and I would take like breaks. Like I would leave for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, then like come back. Feels more chill. I'm not saying that streaming isn't chill. It's just I don't have to worry as much about like, oh, it's new person. Let me introduce myself. Let me see what's up. Let me talk. Literally, because I'm doing that a little when I not always, but you know that has to be kind of turned on streaming, right? But when I'm doing studies, even if someone enters or whatnot, I'll acknowledge them and be like, I'm studying, so I might be present, might not. Okay, bye. Also, there's no VOD. There's no VODs. So I think with that as well, um, it can get more insane-ish. But yeah, people are able to share a lot more information without, you know, I guess it's a little bit like closer knit. And technically, yes, everything's still. I do have a public server and everything, but the amount of people who could join in is smaller. Number one, number two, it's already been like quote unquote vetted. Not really, but more in the sense that people under generally, if you join the Discord server, again, generally speaking, not always, or the people who are more active or more willing to come into VC and whatnot, they've been here for a while, you know, a little bit more established. They know what's up. Oh my goodness, Frogman. Why are you subbing to me, man? What the fudge? Also, welcome. Doing some gesture drawings. Were you able to get the beavers? Oh yeah. Or not the beavers, sorry. What was it? The iguanas and the panther, I mean? Were you able to get them today? Oh my goodness, M4. How was that? How did that go? I saw that you were able to do your homework, M4. With how many was it, like 3 expressions, was it? Thankfully, it was of a different character, man. Not, you know, we're not gonna say what the other thing was, but you know. I did the work at 3 a.m. till 8 a.m. to finish it. Oh my goodness. Of course. At the random times. I finished the other one, by the way, M4. I could send it to you what it looks like. No one else could see. They weren't here, so they won't be able to see it. Oh, fudge. Excluded again because you weren't there, bro. You weren't in the VC chat. There's perks. Fizzy, shut your trap up, bro. There's so many things that you know about me or seen from my content that these bozos don't know about, okay? So don't give me that shiz, okay? Oh my goodness. You're gonna actually visit me in Yeehaw. I missed out on homework. I won't even have time to do them anyways, lol. No, no, no. It wasn't homework. It's something else. It's something else. I swore the people who were in the call or yeah, or in VC to sworn to secrecy. What stays in VC or what was done and said on VC will stay will stay there. It's one of those things. Oh yeah, Frogman. I heard back from one of the schools. They you wanna know what they said? all they said is all they said is um we finished the we finished the pre-check. You're good to go. If um if we still like you, we'll send you an interview. That's essentially what they said. AKA, it's not a rejection letter. It was just, oh yeah, you haven't heard from us for a while. Um, we still like you. We'll give you an interview if we still like you. Okay, bye. Like motherfuck. Yeah, grad school, grad school. No, not uni. It's grad school. Or okay, actually, I should give more specifics. Let me see it. Whoops. Okay, it says completed completed our preliminary review. Our admissions committees will continue to consider it for our upcoming interview sessions. And it's pretty much just if you're chosen for an interview, you will receive an email with the date and time along with additional information about the day. TLDR, it says again, it says okay, we um giving you an update, you're still considered. That's essentially what it says. I'm like, okay, not a rejection letter, so let's effing go. We take those, right? We take those. Let's go. Yeah. I mean, okay, emails. Oh. Like, it's like the same thing. Ask your girlfriends. I bet you your girlfriend would be willing to do said thing. Of course, in return, she would want you to write her letter, handwritten letter. Oh, these are the backgrounds you've been working on. Okay, okay. Hold on, let me post my thing. Okay, 111. Okay, where are you? Where are you? I'll DM this to you. Where are you, my DMs, Sem4? There you are. This is one. What's the other one? Okay, I'm sending you two. You could see what I decided not to color, you know, the chainsaw because I have no effing clue how to color it. It's gonna be probably some like metallic. And you could see on both of those, the only difference is the collar shirt color. Which one do you like better? Hi, Red Welcome. Chainsaw Man. No, 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 no. Nah, nah, nah. It's nothing like that, man. Wow. What do you mean, wow? Oh, I'm ready to do my cringe homework. The second one. Second one's better? Okay. Yeah, I was thinking like I like the color scheme of the first one more, but I think in terms of balance, maybe the second one. I can workshop it later. OC1, I told you, 10 years. I effing told you, bro. 10 years. 10 years, 10 years. We're not even a year out, bro. Okay? And people have been asking me. Man, oh man. I was gonna say. Oh yeah. So this is the task at hand, chat. So pity please. Why? Okay, listen. My skills are not up to par for said thing. Okay, I'm doing things to increase my chances. So OMG clothing studies. Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. So I watched the lecture and everything, and then now I'm gonna do some clothing studies, or like practice, I should say. Again, this is all working in favor of me creating my OC or whatever, okay, or like bettering my freaking vampire OC, whatever. I need that lecture. OMG. Bruh. Now do thick leather. Bro, listen. I have any okay. I'll give you quick rundown, okay? Okay. So TLDR, there are going to be several different folds or whatnot. For something like this, for like cloth, right? And I'm gonna try to explain it to the best of my abilities. I need to practice this, right? So the first one is what we call a diaper, or how the lecturer likes to call it, a diaper curve. Where's my thing? Okay, I'll put it right here. A diaper. These really? Oh, thanks, man. This is just crappy renditions. A lecture for thin Greek goddess type shiz is a handkerchief while drawing, bro. Okay, so so this is what a diaper fold looks like. I'll draw it to make it a little bit easier, a little bit seeable. Okay. Okay. So a diaper has 2 points, right? And these are what we call points of tension. So this is the most, you know, universal or well known or whatever. And then the thing is, it goes down and out, or whoops, down and out, and down and out, and then it overfolds. Not over. See, this is the back. Okay. Now, my lecture, that's you, an elevator girl, while in the elevator. What? Oh, bro, we're not gonna talk. What? Why are you gonna keep bringing up elevator girl? Oh my goodness. I'm aware of the certain concepts, but I have no conception of visual guidance of them. Oh yeah, see, so that is what I'm gonna talk about. Okay, so attention, right? Now, this is one thing you need to think about. Number one, wherever you're going, right? I mean, it should be close, but when you're going down, this should be farther apart each time. So that's number one. Is length, or the length of the arc should increase each time. So length increase. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm not telling the elevator girl story again. Check the VODs. It's somewhere in the VODs. Okay, number two is um another thing to think about is where the midline is. Midline is super important because that should be your guidance of how it should like curve essentially. So if you look at this, oh, this is a really crappy version of it. But if you look at this one, right? Like how this is drawn, there's a thinking about the midline is really important because that is where the arc, or the point of the arc, is going to kind of be leaded. So always think about 2 points of tension, the curve, or the center line, and that's where it's going to like have these curves and follow them. You know? And then another thing to think about is, let's say if there's a height difference, right? If, or yeah, let's say it's not the same level, but there's a difference. Out and in, out and well, come out and in, um, and in. Okay. I'm thinking again, midpoint's really important. See, I was thinking about the midpoint, even though it's not the best. Another thing is I'm thinking about whatever is lower, it's going to favor that because that's how like gravity works. So you have to think about angles and everything as well, and perspective as well. When you and the elevator looked at each other, you became the tension point, bro. Kind of looked like a double chin when I looked down, for real, bro. So that's another thing to think about as well. When you're thinking about all the tension points, what is the lowest point? It's going to favor that. And think of center line. And then again, whatever the peak is, right? Try to aim it there. So you could go out and in, out and in. Not the best example, but you know, out and in. See, it's kind of off, so kind of readjusting that, or try to. Not everything has to be perfectly aligned, but like something to think about. Again, you're trying to think about the curves, and then again, step or fold. Okay, that's 2-point tension. Okay, there's a drop fold. So there's 1-point tension. And what you want to think about is triangles. Triangles. Because what you do with these triangles, right, is you actually connect them with like an S. And then you fill the gaps in later. Kind of like this. Drop curves. And again, obviously, this has to do more with like line weight, but whenever it's, you know, in front, darken it. And when it's farther back, you can lighten it. Another thing you could think about. So people think that you have to like attach it straight up. You don't have to. Technically, it's better to have a little bit of space. A little bit of space. You don't have to close it in. Of course, if you're doing line art and if you like rendering stuff, that matters a little bit more. But let's say just straight up, just you're just sketching stuff. In order to give the illusion, having space in between really helps. It's like the same concept as if you have a box like this, and then you have this right here. Okay. Like you can tell this is in front, this is in back, not because it's bolder, but also because see, there's a little bit of space, so it adds to the illusion. You have to think about when it's farther away, right? Because when we're drawing, we're pretty zoomed in, but if you look at the grand scheme of things, it's really hard to tell glancing at it that there's a space, and it adds to the illusion as well. So that's another thing to also consider when doing this. And again, when you're thinking of cloth, right? You have to think, since okay, taking this example, right? Let's say this is a cloth sill. So if it's a 2-point here, you'll have these, but also you'll have there'll still be cloth over right here. So you could think about, okay, there's gonna be this drop right here. And again, you can make adjustments. Yeah, there's gonna be, not always, but you could assume there's gonna be a drop because it's 1-point over here. This piece of the cloth is still gonna be hanging. So you could add these aspects. Maybe you could have it fold upon itself as well. Or if it's flows the other way as well. It's not always gonna be like this. It could also go the other direction as well. Okay, so there's that aspect. And then, let's see. I'm trying to remember. To talk about shadows. Oh yeah, and then there is Y shapes or cones or whatever. And how these works is through tension. So if you look, actually, let me do this, make it a little bit easier. Okay. Okay, review. 2 tension points. You're gonna have this baby folds farther apart. Think about center line. Think about how high each thing is. That should guide you. There is drop, single tension. Think of triangles and S's. Think about this concept of darker in the front, lighter in the back, and also you don't have to complete the line always. Just depends on your situation. Okay. Now, let me tell you about whys. Okay. I think it's easier to do this. Okay. Now, when you have tension points, right? Or a certain tension point, let's say, and this tension point right here, and then there's like one right here, whatever. The farther you get away from a tension point, right? You're gonna start developing this Y. This like tubular Y kind of. And you see this all around clothing. And this is just a characteristic a clothing has, is they separate into this Y shape. And again, it's farther away from the tension. A lot of tension, it's going to be like strung up, but farther away, it starts to divide into these Ys. And you kind of see it here. Like, what's a good example? Like here, you see it here, right? You see the Y. There's not much I mean, of course, there's tension here, but when it's going away, it kind of breaks off into these Y shapes. Same thing right here. Tension, or farther away from the tension. And again, remember, it has this S shape. So, you know, there's a point of tension right here. There's probably another one right here, up here. That's why it has the S shape again, like point here, right here. It's going down like this with the triangles. Now AddValue, bruh. And then you see a lot of these, again, a lot of these Ys right here. See? You're seeing all these Y shapes. Y, another Y. Because point of tension right here, right? I mean, everything's kind of folded up here, and it's going out like here. Again, not as like, because the next tension point is going to be like what? Right here, right? This is probably the farthest point away from all those tension points. Again, that's why it break up into these Y shape. Yeah. Let's see, I said it here too. See, Y, 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 Y. And then when it flattens out, there's a little bump. Not always, but yeah. Low tension, high tension. And then when you're thinking about these Ys, you have to think of them as like 3D shapes or like a cylinder. Kind of like what I showed here. What else? Oh yeah, drop shadows. Drop shadows are really, really important when talking about clothing. That's how you give like the 3D-ness of it, is drop shadows. So when you have like a piece of cloth here, another piece of cloth, and again, it really shows 1, 2, 3. So remember what I said about earlier, darkness, completeness, and then making it less I mean, less line weight to help with perspective, what's in front, what's not. Shadows just adds another layer to that. It's just, so now we're not just utilizing one thing. We're utilizing multiple things to give the illusion of, hey, this is in front. This is 3D dimensionality. Okay. What else? What else? Oh yeah, there's this thing. It's like if something's trapped, there's this thing. I don't understand this too much. The lecture that I watched said, well, they'll get into it later on. So I'm like, oh, okay. Alrighty. Um, soft and hard edges shadows is what I struggle about cloth. Oh. Yeah, don't ask me about that one too. I'm still learning about it. Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna go to the restroom. Hold on. Okay. I will BRB. Okay, I'm back. What was I gonna say? When you say soft and hard edge shadows, um, what do you mean by that exactly? Is it more of what you would consider a hard or soft edge in clothing, or the shadow itself, or like how to differentiate that, or how to render it? I'm assuming it's when to apply softer on shading clothing. Yes, how to render it properly. Um, well, okay. Think about it like this, okay? So this is generally my thought process of how to render stuff in terms of like grayscale slash values. I don't know how helpful this will be, but like but I'll like walk you through like the logic of it, right? So let's say you have this cube. I'll draw a cube because I think that's the easiest thing to do, right? Okay. Okay. You have this cube, right? Let's say yeah, well, you have to think about lighting first. Let's say for simplicity's sake, it is light sources coming this way. And then I'm going to use make it easy. Fudge. Whoops. So you have 4 values. Okay. I'm just gonna do it like this. Oh, it's 60. Okay. So let's see, light is coming this way. So let's say I have light source coming like this. Probably make it a little bit darker color. To see drastic change. Okay. Okay. You have this, right? Let's say you have this. And so how I first think of it, right? I've when I first think, I should just do it in red whatever. My first thought process is what is in light and dark. Or like lighting. Lighting, right? Think of lighting. So what will be in light and what will be not in light. And I'll make it pretty drastic. And with these will be like our setting are like settings or our anchors, right? And you don't want to deviate too much from this because if you start like, oh, let me do this area first, then let me go to this area, then this area, then this area, and if you try to do like small micro adjustments to these areas, you're forgetting that yes, that one area might look really good, but in terms of lighting and values, it could be off for the whole picture. So you want to think about macro first, the general. Okay, let's make it simple. Light, dark. So first think of lighting. Just what's in what is in light and what is not. First things first. Then second things is work. You could either choose either side and then start thinking about how the lighting works in that general area. And again, it shouldn't exceed. So for instance, let's say there in this light area, let's say I don't know, you have like, let's say you have like a small little crack right here, okay? And if there's a crack here, there's going to be no light whatsoever. So this will be like occluded, right? So this part should be like really, really dark because there's no light, no nothing. So, of course, this area should be the darkest or part, or it should be fairly dark, right? So, going back. So whatever this value is, it could go like this, right? So this part, crack, whatever. Okay, cool, great. But let's say you want to add, you have the lighting, and then with the lighting, you want to add the shadow right here. Let's see. Yeah, let's say lighting's this way, so you have this drop shadow. Technically, there's a proper way to do this, but I'm just gonna guesstimate. Again, definitely not the most proper way to do this. It's, Now, since this is a drop shadow, right? This should be darker. I mean, if you want to be like super technical with this, right? If you be super technical with this and really add a lot of realism, depending, right? Whatever is closest or whatever is occluded, it should be like technically the darkest part. So, which would be right next to the, or this would be considered like ambient occlusion. So like the right on the box, where the box, this should be the darkest area technically. And then it should get progressively, you know, lighter depending on how much you want to render, blah, 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 whatever. But again, in terms of how things are, whatever area here, in this whole area, let's see, there's bounce light or whatever, you could add that, but, or highlights or whatever. But whatever you're using this area, nothing in this area should, this area, nothing should be lighter than this area, generally speaking. And then in this area, generally speaking, not always, it really depends, but generally speaking, it shouldn't be any darker than this area. Okay. Now, and when you're thinking of hard and light, so that's general, value, shadow, blah blah blah. Well, okay, super general. Okay, now it's now more of a question of when to use a hard edge or a soft edge when it comes to shadows, right? And that really depends on lighting situation, number one, and number two, like, well, what's happening in the picture or whatever. So in this area, if there's like a little bit of lighting or whatnot, you know, or, or I'll think about it in how it's division and the situation. So for this one, right? This, I mean, this area, you know, let me use this. So, you know, this area, you'll use a hard edge, right? A hard shadow, because it is literally bam, bam. And there's going to be no transition, right? Since there's going to be no transition, it's a hard edge, right? It's a hard edge. Since it's a hard edge, or because of the material, or because it's ambient occlusion, there's no need. You could use a hard edge, right? But let's say you have something a little bit more harder to define, or it's more smoother. Let's say like a cylinder, right? Let's say you have a cylinder. I'll draw it sideways to make it this explanation a bit easier. Something a little bit rounder, right? This is where soft edge would make more sense. Now the question, I think it becomes like, where do I apply the soft edge, right? It's not, you understand, okay, in this scenario, yes, you'd want to use a soft edge to show value or whatnot, but where specifically? And you have to think about kind of like the principle I was like, I always talk about is, what do you want in front? Remember, what do I want in front? And then whatever you have on bottom. And then you could add a drop shadow. That adds to that, right? Same thing with here. Now, with this, you have with things that has circles or whatnot, you're gonna think about it as a turning, what we call a turning edge, right? So toward where it's turning, you know, or close to where it's turning, you add a little bit like this, a little bit of value, or like what we call like tone, right? You know, there's like semitones, tones. Is that the problem? Like, you know, let's say there's two values, right? Black and white. And then the 0.5 is like midtones, right? Or semitones or whatever. This is what you use for, like, say this is really dark, this is not. And then to show, it's not going to be right next to it, but it's going to be slightly, you know, like here to show that it's like it's turning. So, and like talking about clothes, right? It's like very similar concepts because, again, you could get really bogged down to the details if you really think about every single little thing. It's going to take so much time. So breaking it down, first things first, looking at whole picture. Okay, what is in light? What is in dark? Let me define that first. Okay, where's everything going to curve, whatever. Okay, from there, you can now start thinking within this area, what parts are going to be lighter, what parts are going to be darker. And then since it's going to be a darker area, let's say here, let's say. So there's going to be, this part is going to be brighter, this part is going to be darker. You can have a harder edge here, so harder value, whatever. This one, make it lighter. And then you have the mid-tone. This is where you want to have the soft, the soft edge right here, or the soft shadow or whatever. Again, depending on like the lighting situation. Does that kind of make sense? And you have to also think about, oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, you have to think about lighting in terms of like crevices, right? My gosh. I feel like I'm teaching this whole every time instead of practicing. Like for instance, right? Let's say you have a ditch, right? You have a ditch. When you're looking from it from above, right? It's going to be light. It's going to be light, dark, dark, darkest, light. Right? When there's a ditch, this is generally how light is going to be perceived, right? Okay? So, that means when you're rendering, you have to think about how this is affecting your items. So if there's a fold, right? If there's a fold like this, now let's say there's clothing, there's a fold like this. It's curving like this, right? Okay, again, you think light here, and then there's this piece. You have to think about, okay, this is going to have a shadow, right? A drop shadow. Drop shadow. But in addition, right? You're not going to see this part as much. So you could think about the drop shadow. This right here could be like a soft. This could be like a softer, and this could be a harder. So yeah. Does that make sense? Like this point right here, since like this could be a darker, like much darker, but since this is like transitioning, right? And this is like a shadow, I mean, I guess really depends on lighting too. But yeah, this part right here should be darker and this should be a little bit lighter. I think. Because again, think of hard edges is it's turning away, it's completely away. Now, if it's like in transition, like again, I was saying as a circle, is it if it's transitioning away or transitioning toward somewhat, use a softer edge. If it's like hard stop, like a triangle, like edges is like hard stop, like no light or anything, use a hard shadow. Morning, bros. I'm gonna skedaddle. Gotta go gym first, study. Well, y'all see ya. Okay, bye, Fiji. Does that make sense? And I mean, it's like the same thing with like peaks, right? But the peaks, it'll be the opposite, right? It's gonna be the lightest. It's gonna be kind of light. Again, depending on the angle and whatnot, this part might seem darker. So this area could be dark, kind of light, and this will be the lightest, and you'll have this transition. And you could think about it like how certain noses are rendered. This is like very apparent when you're doing like noses. Whoops. I'll delete that, whatever. Yeah, like when you're doing noses, right? Because let's do random nose right here, whatever. It's 3-part nose. This is really bad nose, whatever. Let's say these are eyes, right? Really, really piss poor nose, whatever. Let's go do this. Keep it simple. And then you have the cheekbones. Okay. Anyways, let's say light is coming this way, or again, this is like showing when doing noses, right? You'll see like this part will be lighter, right? Oh, this part will be in the light. Then you have this part, right? This part will be like darker, or the darkest part, and this area would be like kind of dark. It's not the darkest, but it's kind of dark. And the reason for that is that principle I was kind of like telling you like light, how depending, let's say light is coming this way, because this is completely off. Again, like this, it's kind of like this, how light is working. This will be the darkest part. There is still light coming over and showing this area. So that's why, even though you might think this might be the darkest area, it's actually this part because it's completely blocking it. And then you'll see a little bit. So it's like small little things, understanding how things work, and that will like help you render. I use the Asaro head for lighting and shadows of the face, though. I mean, yeah, you can. But I'm saying for clothing, though. Think about clothing. So that's why I'm saying it's good to have these things. It helps you, but if you like don't think about these things in great detail when you're doing other things that those principles don't apply to, then it's hard to do, right? Does it make sense? I'm for that's why I'm not saying I'm not when am I like explaining certain things? I'm trying to give like understanding. I'm not giving like do this, and that's all. No, I'm giving like explanations why, so you have an understanding, so you could utilize that knowledge and like actually apply it to different situations. I'm not trying to pigeon you. I'm not trying to pigeonhole you into like, oh, you must do it this way. I'm just teaching general principles that it can be applied. But 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 what is it? But does what I say make sense though, right? Because with the Araso head, it pretty much does this, but it takes the thinking away from you. If that makes sense. It just I want to say simplifies it, but it makes it so that you could just follow those principles and just utilize it. It looks good, but if you don't understand why it works or like the fundamentals reason behind it, um you'll be pigeonholed to just doing that, and if it doesn't fit, then you're lost. If that makes sense. That's why I'm trying to give you things that could be utilized in any situation or majority of situations. Or yeah, knowing rules is important before you could break them. Yeah. Or like you'll understand why. Okay, like generally, yes, I'm going to do this, but I'm breaking this rule for this reason. You know. But anyways, does does what I said make sense? Generally, think of what's in light, what's not in light, then start thinking about those two parts separately, thinking about values along the way. If something is the thing I was telling you about, like light, dark, light, think about that. That helps. Try to stay within the relative values, right? You don't want anything here lighter than this here. Generally speaking, yeah, you do not want a value here that is lighter than here. Values, not color, values. Generally speaking, and same thing here. You don't want something here as dark as here. So stay within the bounds. Of course, there's going to be things that are going to break it. That's fine. But again, you want it to be aesthetically pleasing. And this is how you do it. And then when to use hard versus soft. Hard, remember, is if there's a full stop, there's no turning edge, use that. But let's say there's something, there's something turning or it's in transition, use tones. Using tones is really important. Or maybe this will make it a little bit easier if I were to do it like this. Say you have something like this, right? That's really crappy. Maybe make it more apparent. Okay, like this. Let's say like this. Um, so if you think of this as a ribbon, right? So this will be light, and this will be, let's say you have this part right here. This completely turning edge, right here. And then when this is turning, right, this will be like a tone. Okay, maybe make it like this. Like this will be a tone because this is like kind of turning a little. Let's say this is whatever. Something like this. Like when it's turning, this is one value. This is another. This is when it's completely black. And then you'll have another tone right here. And then you have something like this. Oops. You know, kind of like this. Like when it's in transition or it's not like completely there, you can kind of see it visible, soft. If it's a complete stop or if it's a blockage or something, like a full, something like that. It's a common thing for artists, including me, at one point to fear and end up hate stuff like fundamentals because everyone tells you to do it over and over and it's scary and hard. It's like, I have to do this. Why? You do because you just do because it is how reality works. Yeah, understanding how reality works is really, really, really important. It's not that when you're drawing art, you need to make everything as accurate as reality, but you are utilizing those ideas and you have a really good understanding. You know how to make something believable. I think that's a big thing with art is if you're able to make something believable, that's good enough to tell a story. Believable, what or it's pretty much storytelling. Whatever to help push whatever narrative that you're trying to do. Fundamentals help with that immensely. Does it have to reflect reality? No, but you have to make it believable. And again, we think of believability through the lens of reality. It's really imperative. I said imperative for us to understand how reality works in order to pick up those things to utilize to make a believable story. But yeah, but there's a huge difference of understanding fundamentals and actually utilizing it. Like, let's say I look at something, I can understand how they do it, but I can't apply it because I'm like, well, fudge. I know they did this, but when I do it, it looks like crap. And that's where practice comes in. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, yeah. You're satisfied with that answer? Um, M4 did I answer your thing at a satisfactory level? Yep. I mean, does it make sense? Not knowing how to apply, but knowing it is so real. I'm the living embodiment of it. Yeah. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult. Because that's where experience and practice really comes into play, is knowing when to use certain things. You might have all the tools, it's just knowing how to use the tools or when to use the tools. That's the biggest. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. I mean, obviously, we all know that, okay, if you have a nail, you use a hammer to push it in, right? But let's say you have a really, you're building a house. Okay, when would I use a nail versus a screw? You generally understand when to use each ones, right? But there's gonna be very niche situations where one works better than the other. And how you know that is from what? Is from number one, looking at what other people do. The masters, right? The masters, the people who was before us, they have so much effing experience We just look at them, we see what they do. Oh, they use screws in this situations, they use nails in this situations to build a house. Okay, let me emulate that. That will get you pretty far. However, it won't cover all bases because not all houses are the same. Not all situations are the same. There are certain situations where a nail works better for this, but a screw works better for that. Or you have to flip it around. The rules are not quite the same because there's this one little small thing that you overlook. And that is where I think experience comes in. You do it so often, you see it all the time, and then you're like, oh, okay, in this situation, usually this works. But because of this one small, minute thing, I might have to use a nail instead of a screw. And in all honesty, that's like a lot of things in life. I mean, that's why like I think it's extremely important to do studies. Like of course, like looking at like or like photos and painting and doing like things really similar to it. I mean, that helps you develops, your skill sets. But looking at other people who did that, it helps you develop a process. That's why all these people, they like to do master studies of artists, is not to completely emulate them. It's to I mean, I guess it can be, but it's more to understand their process and utilizing that in their tool set and when to use it. Because they essentially what they do is they break things down in their own way that makes sense and then spit it out. And then you're learning that process, and that could help you jumpstart. Oh, if I do this, like they did like this, it ends up with this result. Oh, and they did it for these reasons. Oh, they simplified this body like this because it's easy on the eyes, it's easy to understand. We don't have to figure that out. There's so many people before us that figured how to do it. Why are you trying to figure it out? Figure this one thing out when someone already has done. I think that's why education, or that is why I think education is so paramount when learning. Of course, you have to put the reps in. You have to practice. You have to put in the work. Yes, but learning from others, learning from predecessors is super imperative because they will cut through all the thing. For example, let's say animation. 12 fundamentals of animation. It took them what, like 20 years to develop these principles to make animation look really, really good. 20 effing years. Now, do you just want to like go and just copy people's animation just cuz and try to figure it out yourself? I mean, you can. That's a lot of effing work and time wasted. Rather than, you take a class or you look up principles to understand what they're doing and why, and then now you're practicing those rather than just straight up, oh yeah, I'm just gonna draw. Again, this is if you want to get proficient, if you want to get good as fast as possible. I mean, depending on what your goals are. Do you want to become a professional? Do you want to just do it as a hobby? What is your timeline? Is it as fast as possible, or you don't care? You could take your time. Or how hell bent are you? Does your livelihood depend on it? So me personally, I do not mind paying for education. I call it ignorant tax. You're paying your ignorant tax when you're getting an education. That is one thing that cannot be taken away from you. Let's say government shutdown or you get robbed or whatnot. You could lose all your items. You could lose your money. You could lose people around. You could lose a lot of things. But the one thing you will not lose, unless you get like head damage, then at that point, you know, you're kind of dead. But if you're alive and well, the one thing that you'll still always have is your education, the knowledge set that you have. And you could start from scratch. That's why I think education is extremely important. It really is. It really is. Knowledge is power, they say, and it truly is. Imagine, because if we didn't have education, right? If we didn't pass down the information and everything that we have, we would be living like cavemen from birth every single time. We wouldn't understand the idea of washing your hands or the germ theory. You know how many lives that have saved just because we just wash our hands? Just because that knowledge was passed down? Unfortunately, education can be expensive. I mean, I understand why. It is extremely valuable. But sometimes it's like, damn, like, really? Really? I mean, that's why I'm just like, I'm telling you this. Or I mean, like, I went out of my way to just teach it. Or like, you know, whatever knowledge I have, like, passed down to y'all. I mean, there's several reasons for that. Number one, it helps me better. If I'm able to articulate and explain something, that means I understand it so well and I could utilize it, right? Number two, it helps me. Number two, it helps you. And the amount of time that I spent or money that I spent, I'm willing to like give it to other people for free. Like, I don't mind, because I am in a place of like privilege that I could do that. I know not everyone has the means to, so you know, try to help where I can. But anyways, damn, I wanna. I think freaking. Sorry if that was a little preachy, chat. Okay, now let me actually do my freaking homework. My freaking homework, man. Freaking distracting me, effing chat. Me helping people out. Freaking cost me everything. Amen. You effer. My bad. Shut your freaking. Shut up, man. I don't like you no more. Like you no more, man. Let's see. I actually did some decent cleanups today on my animation. Wowee. Well, that's good for you, man. I'm glad you got some work done. I shouldn't be too worried about the face actually. I should just do. It's not gonna be a full body. Oh, you do have the center. You do have a general center line right here. The boobas, kind of like this. Okay, now I have the general body since I'm doing closing. I'm not going to worry too much about the figure. This is the basis. Now, what I'm going to do next is I am going to map out all the tension points and start building from there. So I will do it in, I don't know, say blue. Okay, tension points. So there's going to be tension point right here, one right here. Tension point is going to be right here where the foot is going to be. That's a tension point. Let's see. Technically, these are tension points, but these are going to be kind of flat. Uh, More notable is going to be like right here. Yeah, right here is going to be a tension point. Where else is going to be a tension point? I guess technically over here. And since the arm is kind of pressed here, it's going to be like, not really. It's definitely going to be here and here as well. Where else? Do you see Booba? No. Mm. Whoops. 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 Okay. Yeah, technically, this whole area will be a tension point, technically. This right here, because it's gonna wrap around. Mm. but I'm not gonna worry about that one. Okay, so I have my general tension points, and then I am now going to draw in center lines. Or think about center lines. So this is center line right here. And then with this one, if we come, center line is going to be here. Okay. I want to listen to different. F it. We'll listen. We'll listen to this. I love my Uma Pyoe, man. I love my Uma Musume. I'm not addicted. Trust. Don't ask me when I last played the game. Uma Pyoe. Eat. Hi. Okay. How much time do I have? Oh, can I finish this within? Oh, maybe. We'll see. I don't know how. I just realized now that M4 is modded. Oh yeah, he's been modded for a while. He's been modded for a little while. Okay, go outward. Okay. There's more folds here. It's like the baby folds. There's this fold right here. Okay, and then right here, we have a little bit of a divot right here. Kind of like this. Kind of folds on itself, but I'm not going to add too much attention to it. This is generally same. Oh, yeah. And then one thing the lecturer was talking about is where the nipples are. Where the nipples are really important when it comes to folds. So nipples matters, chat. Nipples matter. Nipples? Nipples matters when it comes to clothing. So remember, chat. Nipples are important. Don't be like the anime free where they have no nipples. They're important. The knobs. Just your typical MacBook being modded. Oh yeah. M4. Are you gonna turn into M5 now? Because there's a new M5 chips. How does that make you feel? And then turns around. And then you have a little bit of the wire here. There's a fold right here. There is a little fold, like a pinch right here. I don't really learn pinches too much, so I'm not gonna worry too much about this. Okay, and then we have the nipple is gonna be right here. Nipple line is gonna be right here, rough give or take. So this is where it kind of curves in. It has this divot. Never knew that nipples affected clothing folds. Only knew Booba did. Yeah. Nipples are important. Not the typical thing I thought I would be seeing on stream. Nipples matter. It's like unappreciated glasses coon in like animated and like animes. The unappreciated nipple on a booba. Everyone thinks about the addis or like the tissues, it being flippy, big, but they forgo, the actual nipple part. Okay, from here, I guess I could do a little bit. This kind of shows a little bit. There's a little bit of tension in this area. So any tension points like right here. Whatever. It's not the end of the world. Oh, fudge is 40. Leaving the end stream. At the end stream, I could go watch this cringe movie. Wait. Let me see how far the theater is away from my house. Takes 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I can end stream. I have to go inside, scan. It's going to actually be. It's going to be absolute cinema. I mean, I got the most expensive viewing experience of the movie, of the Chainsaw Man movie. So it must be good, right? It must be goated. Fudge. How do I do these folds? Oh, see, I'm an anime only watcher of Chainsaw Man. You know, I was thinking before I go to rewatch all of Chainsaw Man, but I was like, okay, do I want to watch anime before I watch more anime, or should I do art stuff? I'm like, I'll do art stuff. Art stuff is important. I'm excited though. Here's the thing. I didn't watch Chainsaw Man when it was airing. Actually, I think I watched Chainsaw Man last year. Last year or 2 years ago. It was like a year, I think. Maybe a year, at least a year after it came out to watch it, because there was so much effing hype behind it. I'm like, I think my expectations are so effing high and people are talking about it so much. I'm like, yeah, I think it's gonna kill it for me. So that's why I waited until it like died down, people stopped talking about it, then I watched it. And I'm so glad I did that. Oh, you gotta read them. You gotta read it. Oh, okay, okay. I read pretty much the entire part one on Chainsaw Man, not really part two though. Ah, gotcha. But yeah, um, they cooked so effing hard with Chainsaw Man season one. They didn't have to go so effing hard, bro. Like holy fracamole. Also, it is weird as hell. No, like, but you know what? I think like when I say it's weird, it is like really weird. Yes, it was popular, but I guess because of how weird it was, I think it wasn't as, I mean, it was big, but it didn't go to the level of JJK, you know? I think a part of the reason why that was the case is because of how effing weird it was. Yeah. I mean, okay. Um, how do I not spoil this? Okay, imagine. Okay, okay, okay. Imagine you're a horned up teenage boy, and then you have the opportunity to live out your fantasy. You're really, 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 really horny. So like his motivation to do stuff is because of horniness. Yeah, that's no, yeah. Without spoiling it, yeah. Dude, oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. Oh, I want to say this, but I can't. Be spoilers. Hold on. Who sent me something in media? Brother, what about how to draw feet? What? Oh, why is there feet? Hold on. Hold on. I messaged something to you, Diva. I needed to say it. I needed to say it, but I don't want to say it on stream because spoilers. But it's facts though, right? Dude, I was on the floor dying, bro. I was cackling like I was an effing witch. I'll save it for commission or raw. Oh my goodness. But listen. To be fair, I think if I was in Denji's position and if I was that down bad, I think I would probably do the same things, bro. Oh shit. So I need to redirect this part. It might be down here actually. Okay. Yeah, it's actually on. Wait, when I look at this, actually, all the folds happen on this tension point. Interesting. Hold on, I'm gonna go back and blue and make that adjustment. It's like, whoa, that's T turquoise. Like more down here just to help me. Okay, I saw it, Lamau. Saw it. Saw what? What? Oh, okay. Line sensei. Okay, this is what you're talking about. Female body tutorial. Cute girl easily every time.
And again, decide how big.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I saw it. The DM. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's factual though. It's a factual. It is hella factual, bro. Okay, so since it's like all the points are gonna be here, this part is gonna be kind of hard too. So I'll have this be the and then it kind of goes up here. Fudge, I hate this. This is effing torture. Yeah, this is not gonna look pretty, but it's okay. Right now, it's just me understanding and getting used to all this crap. Yeah, there's other exercises I'm gonna start doing. So you see, hold on. Oh yeah, these. You're gonna look at this and be like, "What the f are these?" This is just a few drawing stuff to help with making beautiful arcs. Help get your like hands used to drawing arcs and whatnot. So I'm gonna probably start doing that as well. Maybe if I want to yap about something, let's say I don't want to like if I want to take a break, I want to yap. I'm gonna do that while I talk, and I think that'll be helpful. I could get some beautiful arcs, some nice arcs because that should help. And he said the biggest thing is always about confidence. I can actually explain it real quick, super quick. Okay, so one exercise, you have 2 points. You draw, and from one point to the other, you start drawing arcs and try to meet it. And you just do this while talking. You want to make, you know, them different. Do a lot of these. And the goal is to make beautiful arcs. All different directions. Again. One. So that's one exercise. Yeah. Next one. The next exercise is you draw a line, top, bottom, and then you add it somewhere, like add a third point. Oh shiz, this. Oh shiz. Oh, that was bad. And you want to keep doing, good arcs, just randomly. And then after you do like a couple of those, you do another one and you change where the midpoint is. So let's say it's down here now. So you change it up a little. Oh fudge. Whoops. Yeah. Oh fudge. And this is about building confidence and getting used to drawing really good arcs. And doing it specifically. And then I guess another one is ribbons. Wait a minute. Did I? Oh, shiz. That would have been bad. Is like ribbons. Are making very believable ribbons. Help 3-dimensionality. Anyways. That's day. Alright, I'll finish this later. I do need to go. I need to go. I need to go watch a movie. I'm gonna watch Denji get some. Okay, chat. You have anything else to say before I leave? I'll be back. I'll draw. I don't know. MHD actually depends because I do have to do this homework. Then I have to do stuff. My other lecture stuff. I'm not gonna talk about on stream. This is nothing dubious, okay? I promise. But I don't want to talk about it on stream because it will cause an uproar in chat if I were to talk about it on stream. So I'm not going to. But yeah. If I want to do one thing, I will do it on Discord. If not, if I'm gonna go back to this, I'm just gonna do it on stream. I mean, technically, yeah. We'll see. Okay, then, chat. I will be back later. Whether I stream or not, we'll see. I mean, I will definitely draw. It's a question of where. Anyways, I will see y'all later. Okay. Alrighty. Bye.